Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And wow, what an interesting and explosive live stream tonight, wasn't it? Well, let me just put the record straight on two things. And I have a lengthy video interview that I had here with Philippe, who's the person I referred to in that live stream, who actually confirms factually what I said. Now, the two things I'd like to say are firstly, that at the end of this video, this John B. Wells, who is so up himself, I'm surprised he's not living on the moon, he suggests that in a prayer, I need to be exercised. I mean, how absolutely low can you go? As a Christian, I find that highly offensive. And the second thing is he suggests that I've been attacking his wife, Brenda. Now, if you look at my videos on this subject, you will see clearly that I say that I think she's an innocent victim to this con man. But clearly, loving life is going to have nothing to do with the ark. I have serious issues about this project now, following the attitude of, John B. Wells. I'm going to say no more. Here comes the video conference I had with Philippe. And yes, he is hidden, because if he goes on cam, what happens is that the reception gets very bad. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. And finally, right below this video, I'm going to be putting a link to the live stream. So you go and have a look at it, and you be the judge as to what you think of this John B. Wells. Cheers, guys.
Hi, Philippe. Thank you for Skyping after that really weird live stream that I've just completed with Brenda and John B. Wells. Okay, now, I made a statement at the start of that live stream. Was there anything I said there when I was quoting what you had said that was incorrect?
Not that I know of, not that I'm aware of. You could have actually said a great deal more, relying on what I said. What in your review, what perhaps I put it in the comments might have been said is that if the ambassador was utterly reckless by stating stuff that his government knew about but he didn't, we should then expect a complete and utter retraction of what he said and his request to expose it. I don't think we're going to see that request and that retraction. You did not say anything that is known to me that is incorrect. Nothing. Zero. I support everything you said.
Clearly, someone who claims to be a lawyer when he's not makes him a kind of dubious character, doesn't it?
It's not only the lawyer thing. When he was basically suggesting to help us with all sorts of input, and that input was totally defective, that is when I started questioning Hiroka. Funnily, right. She calls him Duros, and I thought that Duros was a surname.
Yeah.
We know him as Hiroka Gasperi, and the law firm was Duros. So maybe there is an evil twin brother sitting in there somewhere.
Right. Did I at any stage in any of my videos suggest that the Ark was a problem?
Not that I'm aware of.
Wells was not a good person?
Quite frankly, if I may, we had a number of Skypes and some contact in emails. If I may, it was I who repeatedly, right up to the very end, was very skeptical about this. And I kept asking you if you should not be more cautious, because your attitude ab initio and right through, right up to the very end, with absolutely nothing to the contrary, and I can say this unreservedly, was one that you were looking forward to possibly pooling the assets of your channel with the assets of Brandy's work to see how that could become a formidable engine to help South Africans. Your attitude was make peace. You believed in her. You believed in what she was doing. You were convinced, when I wasn't. You were convinced that she was on the straight and level and had been used and misled. I asked you to do a great deal more research into this. I wasn't convinced, as you know. You have at no stage, not ever, suggested that she might be against you. In fact, you said that when you had a preliminary chat with her, that she was very willing to extend the hand of friendship and accept the hand of friendship between the two of you. I was hoping that would happen. And when I heard, as with every single time that we deal with something that works out to be less than happy, possibly questionable, we end up with the Lord and the prayers and everything else, and then come the troubles. And I actually put in the sidebar, I wondered when that was going to come, and there it was. And he went for you, he was personal, he was defamatory, he was utterly defamatory about you. And in fact, the man snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. If he could have pooled their resources with yours, it would have been a formidable engine for the good. And he deliberately destroyed it. And I can find no other reason than that there is an agenda that is maybe not ours, and possibly not the interest of others.
Just moving on. What did you think of Brendy's comments?
I think that Brandy knew all along that Brandy knew all along what was coming. There is not a hope in hell that she was taken by surprise and second guessed by her husband. What I don't understand, and what I put in the sidebar when it came up, I think is a very pertinent question, and that is that can we expect a full retraction of the statement of the Georgian ambassador made on behalf of his government, a full retraction of it, and a full retraction of the request to make the hoax known to as many people as possible? I think not. And for Brandy to actually go over the head of the Georgian ambassador and ipso facto insult the government, he is the spokesperson for the president of Georgia. That's who he is. And I hold the man in great respect. And to do this, because she is speaking to a functionary, to a bureaucrat in Georgia, the bureaucrat, whoever he is, the functionary in Georgia, can never be the same rank as the president of Georgia. He's junior to him. And the ambassador is the president's spokesman. And I think what they did was utterly reckless. I think what Brandy did was utterly reckless in that regard. And
what did you think of
the pudding will be if we get a retraction or not?
What do you think of John? Hang on. What did you think of John B. Wells' statement?
I think it was completely and utterly destructive. It was untoward. It was completely and utterly defamatory. He knew what was coming because he was shuffling those papers right throughout the video. What we could see of him, he was actually busy shuffling those papers. And whatever those papers were, if there was any content in it or not,
it could be anything.
They could have been the opening hours of Disneyland, for all I care. It could have been a prop to be used a bit later when he decided to jump in and go for you. I think it was a tag team, and they set you up and they went for you, and that bodes ill, in my view, in my personal view, my opinion.
Yeah, now, look, I just need to say, I just need to make a statement. I, as a Christian, I will swear on the Bible that I have never participated in online gaming. I don't do that sort of stuff. But John B. Wells made the accusation, you are involved in online gaming. No, Mr. Wells, you are a scam. That's what the truth is.
He played the man, and this was the
He
setup.
came unstuck because I asked him to show me the proof that I do online gaming, and he couldn't.
No, you can't, because you don't. But John, this guy basically had you set up, and he was playing with those papers all the way along, right from when they came on screen. And I think they may well have been a prop. If they weren't a prop, then why didn't he show what he had there? He didn't. And I think the proof of the pudding is going to be in the ambassador's conduct, if he does retract or if he doesn't. And if he doesn't, perhaps people should treat the Wellses with a great degree of caution. And what she said about Duros, I would love to know what sort of security clearance from the Georgian government the man has. Hiroka has a government security clearance. On what basis? And if it was the Georgian government, I would be absolutely amazed because of what the Georgian government's attitude is through the ambassador regarding that project. They would not give him a security clearance in a month of Sundays when they actually distance themselves and call his project a hoax. Somebody who produces a hoax and the Georgian government extends a public warning against, and they ask you to please broadcast that warning for and on behalf of the Georgian government to give that man a miss because it's a hoax, they would give him a security clearance? Come on, no. I can't see the US government giving him
I guess what I've found is most offensive, and I think any Christian would, is that he suggested that he's going to exorcise demons out of me, in a prayer. I mean, that to me is disgusting, and it shows the character or the lack of character of the man. I mean, really, any Christian where someone does that, it's just inexcusable.
It's actually outright blasphemous, if you will.
Yeah, it is.
It's blasphemous, but that is not the thing. He had you actually set up. So did Brandy, for that matter. There's not a hope in hell that she didn't intervene. Remember?
No.
She did not say, "John, please." Yeah, nothing of the kind. This was a tag team. She made no attempt throughout that rant of his, no attempt whatsoever to say, "Whoa, what is this? I'm sorry, this is not my view," or "John, please." You were on a peace mission with her, and you've been on that peace mission, frankly, even against my advice. I look at things differently from you. And you were the one who had the positive attitude and saw an opportunity to join forces, to have the peace between the two of you, clear the decks, clear her name altogether. But that was not their intent. And
well, clearly that's not going to happen now.
It is so sad, because the people that they purport to assist are the ones who are going to drop by the wayside. It's very interesting to see that Mr. Wells has a dog in this fight, because the money will be paid to him. And as he said, it will be fully accounted for. And I trust that it will, whatever that means. And we're looking at millions, whatever that means. Somebody who is morally upright would not go for that ad hominem attack, on that filthy attack that he staged there. I just want to say,
Philippe, that any organization that has their key man in Georgia with the reputation of Juroskis Berry and promotes him shows that they have not done their homework. Because if they'd actually done their homework first, they wouldn't have touched that man with a barge pole.
Well, he has a scheme going. Yeah, he had it first in that secret Scandinavian country, which again was exactly the same story. He had contacts and secret negotiations and the 5,000 and the money that went in, and then the fun started. I hope, and trust that donors will do their due diligence with regard to the ARC project. And if they're satisfied, then all is well. If not, well, they might get a blustering ranting session invoking the angels against them by Mr. Wells. It was absolutely disgusting, but it was a setup. She knew what was coming, and I think they decided to clear Gasperi rather than distance themselves from it. I can't see them distancing themselves at all. Why would he do this? And it was staged.
All right. Well, look, I'll put this into a video on the 2020 channel, Philippe, so that I value your input. I just want to say in closing that, as you say, it was an ambush, and it was totally unacceptable after I've reached out and tried to help them. But it is what it is, and you live and learn. You meet all types of people in this world, don't you?
I think that with this rant and what they did, they have done themselves incalculable harm. And that is possibly, as they say, the Lord works in very mysterious ways. And I think the Lord has actually given them a curveball there. This is not hurting you. This will hurt them very, very badly. I'm very sad this happened, because I know what your intentions were.
I mean, the point is that anybody who follows my channel knows that at live streams, we raise tens of thousands of rands to help charities in South Africa. And, you know, here's this guy grandstanding and saying, what have you done for South Africans? He obviously doesn't know anything about my channel. And then he's suggesting that he knows everything about my inside life. This guy's a bullshitter.
This is basically attack is the best defense as far as he is concerned. And I think, thank goodness that it happened now, because if you had trusted them and you had gone into a JV, a joint venture with them, heaven knows what would have resulted at the end.
Well, there would never have been a JV, but it would have been certainly, we would have been promoting the project because we want to help South Africans. But with that sort of attitude, I cannot promote the ARC, because someone who does that attacks someone, as you say, personally, when there's absolutely no evidence, and to suggest that I do online gaming, which I have never done in my life, is just absolutely abominable. But as I said, it's the nature of the man.
He could have said that you're a Freemason and mess around with goats at night or whatever else. It doesn't matter what he said. He just went for you. And this was a setup, and he had that paperwork, whatever it is. As I said, it might well be the opening hours of the Wimpy Bar. That was a prop that he had handy. He knew what was coming, and that was his prop. For the camera, that was his prop. And when he launched, that is what the intention of tonight was. And his intentions were clearly, and Brandy, very, very, very dark. Your intentions have been right from the very start that you believed in her innocence and her decency, that you wished to, you actually wanted to distance her from Iroka and any possible malfeasance, and clear her well from whatever might not be right there. That was your attitude. And then work together. Look at it. Light always has the high ground. And I think with what he did, it was regrettable and very stupid, because all he did was take the wind out of his own sails. It was stupid. It was a setup, and it was an abuse of trust. It was a simple abuse of trust. You went in there to try and mend bridges and shine a very clear and clear cleansing light on her, showing that whatever might have happened with somebody else, that she was clearly not part of something that was questionable in any way at all, and that you would love to join forces with her and do the best for South Africa. It was a setup right from the beginning. Yeah. Well, let's see what the ambassador has to say.
All righty, Philippe.
If he doesn't come to their aid, I think.
Thank you so much for your comments. I'll put this video up on the 2020 channel as basically because you were referred to in my statement. So basically, so that people can see my views and your views on this despicable little idiot who calls himself a man. No one ever comes between me and my God. And his little prayer was disgusting. You know, how low can you go? Anyway, I'm going to leave it on that note. Thanks, Philippe, once again.
Basically grandstanding and showboating. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off this video. Cheers, Philippe. Chat soon.
Okay, my buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.